Everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. We are in the 3.5 Monster Manual, and we are on a Shambling Mound 2.0, aka Tendriculos. So Tendriculos is essentially, it looks like a small hillet or small bump of ground that stands up, and it's actually a terrible, giant-mouthed, tentacled creature that will eat you, and it heals based off of eating too, which is actually kind of neat. But it has your standard stuff like improved grab and swallow whole, and then the regeneration. It deals bludgeoning weapons and acid damage deal normal damage to it, and if it loses a part of its body, it can grow back in 1d6 minutes. So all it has to do is hold the portion up to itself, so it must be intelligent enough for that. And its intelligence is 3, so I can't figure out how it is. All right, let's get going. I got here this what do you call it? Paint lid. Get a little dab of glazoo on there, and this is just a piece of a game board that I've cut because it's like a really thick, sturdy cardstock, and I've been using these for bases lately. They've been working out pretty well. So we need something to build the bulk of our body. You could use a shot glass or a small cup or a little plastic. Something like this maybe, and that would save you some material doing it. But since I'm using tin foil, I think, because of the face I want to put on mine, mine's not going to look like that. So to start out, I'm going to get 2 fingers, and I'm going to bend this back around, and then, so that doesn't close up while I'm working completely, I'm going to get 2 beads, larger beads, and I'm just going to glue them, maybe 3 actually. I'm going to get 3 beads and glue them together to put in that mouth spot, so it kind of holds its shape while I'm working. Actually, I'll get some smaller ones too. And I don't care if it's perfect, you know, if it's a little wonky shaped, we're going to be able to bend it around. Oh, I ran out of glue. Hold on. We're going to be able to bend it around some. Now, there we go. Okay. And I'm going to, well, 3 was too many, so we'll pull that one off. And I'm just going to make sure that our mouth doesn't close up while we're working. That's the only reason I'm putting that in there. Okay. Oops. And then I'm going to let that I'm going to build around that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen up around that mouth area. And to do that, I'm going to get this. Get back in there. Okay, something like that. And then I'm going to pull that outward. Okay. There you go. Something like that. Now this thing is 3 inches tall. So we have a little bit of room to work with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take mine, I'm going to bend it the shape I kind of want it to be in, and I'm just going to roughly increase the height a little bit by putting another lump underneath to get that about 1/2 inch it needs in height. Okay. And this is just rough work. This doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to let that kind of get in place, and then I'm going to get this on top of it. Now, tinfoil is not notoriously good at being held together by super glue alone. So you kind of got to drag it around and get it to where it overlaps in spots, almost like you're creating a net with your glue. And don't be stingy with your glue on this. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it and try to get some of this back connected a little better so it's sturdy. Oh, I'm out of glue. That does not help my cause. stick number 2. Okay. Now my bead thing's kind of in my way. I'm going to move that for now. It's starting to hold. Nope, not quite. It's not quite cool enough yet, but it will be in a minute here. So now I'm just going to kind of come around here, get some glue in there, pull that around. All right, we should starting to be cooling up there. All right, now we can take our, I think we can take our, no, we better not take our beads out just yet. I think my mouth's a little bigger than I want it to be though, for sure. So let's pop these out and let's kind of bring that mouth in a little bit. Shrink it up some. Okay. Now I'm going to make a rough shape that I can kind of shove under here and slowly but surely start creating my hilt form with it. And I want to make sure my height does not go over my 3 inches. There we go, right at 3 inches there. Oops. Okay. And all I'm doing is just building an outer shell for mine. And now I'm going to start starting that up. And I'm also going to use this same process is how I'm going to get my ground texture around it too. It makes it kind of, you know what I mean? So I'm going to bring it and just drag it out to the edge a little bit. La, 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 la. So my oldest son and my second oldest son, Dooms 1 and 2, are hilarious. And they do shit to make each other laugh. So yesterday when we were taking little breaks at D&D to go out and have tobacco or whatever, things like that, they don't go out for that. So what they were doing was, they're in their 20s and they're silly. They'd lay on the couch and, you know, my oldest would tell my second oldest stupid and made up fictitious Smurf lore, but it would be like off the wall and stupid. And so my second oldest would just start laughing maniacally like an idiot. And they'd be at his table after the break was over, and he'd still be like trying to whisper lore to him in between like parts where they were involved in the RPing or whatever. And I just thought to myself, how lucky I am that my 2 oldest sons, that I impressed upon them the family of importance, and even though they've had fights and stuff like every set of brothers does, they're still so close that they share a house together, and that they you know, laugh together and have fun, you know. And they have days where they're fighting and stuff, obviously. And, you know, like sometimes when one of them's dating a girl and the other one doesn't like the girl, it's problematic and stuff. And they just want what's best for each other. That's really what it comes down to. Okay. So you want to get in here. And if you want to make some kind of like folds and stuff in that, you easily can just by getting your glue, pushing your gun in, and then dragging that back across. And then just lightly filling that in. And that's going to strengthen this model up significantly. And you want those, like I said, to be kind of like a net or something. But then you kind of want to push them around so they don't look like a net. And that's going to strengthen this guy up pretty good. You don't want to lose all your texture, though, that's for sure. So just be mindful of where you're doing it and how much you're doing it. Okay. Now, I'm going to let this cool for a minute before I start shaping this mouth anymore, because the last thing I want to do is get my hands stuck all over this and ruin the whole outer coating and all the texture we've created. So we can work on tentacles for now. So I'm just folding in half and then folding one half of it into a quarter, and I'm going to start rolling that into a long and sturdy tentacle. It's not quite as long as I wanted, but it might be. No, it's not. Let me try that again. Oh, hell. There we go. Something like that. And then I'm smashing the end so I have somewhere to connect it and make it sturdy. Let me look at my picture of the Tendriculos real quick. Kind of see exactly where those are. Okay. Larger connection areas that you can spread around help you more. And then you want to make sure you have plenty of surface area connected and fix up any weird little bump spots. So you can see what I'm doing here pretty easy. I'm just getting in the grooves and then dragging it up and then covering any little holes or anything while I'm doing it. Like that. And I'm going to try to drag one along the tip here and then smooth it out and pull it around and create some viney, gross looking texture. I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom with it. Just two of those should be sturdy enough to make this guy how I want. Okay. Let's make another tentacle, or tendril, or vine, or whatever you want to call this part. Let's make another one of those. They don't have to be exactly the same either, which is kind of nice. You can just kind of make them how you want to make them, and that'll work. So again, it looks a lot like the Shambling Mound to me, and the fact that it's a separate entry Seems more like a silly thing than a real attempt at making a good book. But that was a lot of, like, in the history of D&D, I think there's been a lot of times where, you know, time constraints and money and different people thinking one of two monsters were superior and them going, you know what, let's just include them both. I don't know that. I wasn't there in any of the edition creations. But, you know, it's a thing. It's possible that that kind of stuff happens because it happens in collaborations all the time. Is it a true money grab? I think not as much as you would think, but it probably is partially that at times, I would guess. Now I'm going to do this in 2 parts because it's such a long tentacle. And this one's a lot longer also, so I'm going to do it in 3 lines instead of just 2. I just want to make sure this is super sturdy. I don't want this moving around or getting broken or destroyed in any way. All right. Look for any loose spots that are sticking out. Kind of shove them in. Create some texture there if you can. And let's see if this thing has teeth or anything in that mouth. It does have some viney looking teeth. Oh, and it has these stupid tendril things that come down. Alright, so viney looking teeth, toothpicks. Best I got, sorry. I'm going to open that mouth up just a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to get a good bit of glue. And I'm going to kind of bubble up and strengthen up the outside of that mouth. I need more glue sticks. Where are my glue sticks? Hello, glue sticks, what do you be? Great, I lost my glue stick bag. It could be anywhere, knowing me. I threw it somewhere because it was in the way. Because that's what I do. Shit. Sorry about this, everybody. I know I didn't put it in a drawer, but I had to check just to be certain. All right, so we are out of glue sticks. Well, that's not really true, but I don't know where I put them. Let me see if they're... Oh, here's one. Here's another one. Here's something that just fell loose in the drawer. We'll use those now. I have to look for my bag after this video. Sorry about that. So I want to come around here, and I want to create kind of a rim that sturdies up this mouth. And then I'm going to come inside that. And I want to get some glue in there. And the glue in there is going to be important because that's going to make it easier for us to connect the teeth. I can't breathe for shit today. All right. So to connect the little teeth, just get your snippers. You might want a Q-tip, or not a Q-tip, tweezers. Then you just get your good dab of glue. Hold up your model. And I want mine to stick outward a little bit, I think. Or maybe even inward, back and forth. I haven't decided yet. I just want mine to look a little cooler. I don't want them to be boring. Too many of our monsters that look alike irritate me, so little details like this could be good for us to create a new look. Man, I wish I knew what I had to do with that bag of glue sticks. It bothers the shit out of me. I have like a big bag of glue sticks too. That's why I can't figure out why I can't see it laying around. It's like 500 or something. It's like a dumb number. Now, at some point, let's speed this up a little bit. I don't know if this is a good or bad idea, but we're going to try this. Oh, lost it. It's in there somewhere. There it is. There we go. Nope. Can't take shortcuts on those apparently. It's just too cold in here. Gotta bring my little heater in here and shut the garage door. But then I can't have adult nicotine products in between shooting and stuff, because you know, Mrs. Doom, if the smell comes upstairs at all, even though it's not going to hurt anybody, just a little bit of smell, but if it comes upstairs at all, I'm in so much trouble. I would probably be killed. Alright, so around the mouth right now, focus on getting rid of your spider webs, just around the mouth. The rest of it won't matter just so much yet, but you could do it all now if you wanted. The mouth is important. Okay. And we're going to get some super glue and baking soda. And we're going to strengthen up those teeth, and then we'll come around and clean off the rest of the model, and then we'll start figuring out how we're going to do our texture, like our leaf and grass texture on it. So let's get this opened up and ready. Nice. I'll do all the bottom teeth first. I'm just going to coat those and let it run down into the mouth. Then I'll do my top teeth. Looks pretty sturdy. All right. Now, to strengthen these arms up, as much as I didn't really want to do this, we probably should do a bit of super glue along the arms just to give them some substance. That's amazing how much that sturdies it up and how quickly it does that. That's just... It's like, I have an extra electron that wants a home. Let's make this really sturdy with that idea. Thank you, science. Thank you. That's pretty good. We'll do the other one. We'll come up here, start a line. Wish I could stinking breathe, man. All right, we're gonna get one more of these going, at least on this fatter part. All right, any little spider webs that are left, grab those now. And then we're going to do one last kind of thing here on the sides. So on this reference art, he's got these gross little like vine string things coming down. I'm not sure what they're about. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use these. And create them with that. I got a splinter sticking out there. I don't want on there. We'll cut that off with this then, because I can't. Oh shit! Super glue's flying. Okay. And just to mount those gross little string things that I hate, we're just going to get a dab of glue on those, like that. And we'll just keep making those. Go all the way around with them. As dumb and pointless as I think they are, somebody thought they were important somewhere at some time. I'm just making them different lengths because the ones in the book looked very symmetrical and I kind of hated it. I don't want mine symmetrical, so I'm just doing my own thing. I've also decided that mine are not all going to be perfect. This one's going to be wonky. Now on yours, I kind of have to, just like all the other monsters that I make from the monster manual, I'm kind of like committed to try to make it close if I can, or do the best I can do with what I have to work with. And since I can add these, I'm going to. If you don't like these, don't add them, because I think they're stupid and you might too. If you do like them, guess what? Add them. One's a little big. Cut one more of those off. Sweet. I think we need to do at least one more here. And then get rid of your spider webs. Dude, I can make a whole video just burning spider webs and be happy. Okay. Super glue these. I'm going to do 2 at a time to speed it up. And that's just going to add some strength so they don't come apart. Make sure you super glue them pretty good too, because I didn't do a great job on mine. I'm going to have to come back and do them again. All right, so we're about done here, I think, on Tendriculos. So do me a favor, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, and all that happy crappy. That's the stuff that helps the channel grow and helps it make the algorithm acknowledge that it exists and stuff. So please do that stuff. So while we're gone, I just want to tell you guys what you should do to save time, because I can't let stuff air dry because I don't edit. I do everything live. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this guy with some dark Mod Podge and white glue mixed, and then I'm going to sprinkle either like Italian seasoning or a flock that I have, probably a flock that I have, or I have some dillweed actually. I might sprinkle him in dillweed real lightly after I Mod Podge him to give him some texture, and then I'm going to dry him and spray paint him black, and then I'll come back and you'll see where we're at. So I'm Mod Podging him to add some sturdiness and to make it real sticky. I'm sprinkling him with flocking or dill or Italian seasoning or whatever you have to give him some grassy kind of and leafy texture, and then I'm going to spray paint him black probably, like I said. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. And come to the website, buy some miniatures. Not these miniatures, the real Dungeons Swag miniatures. And come to our Discord and show us what you're working on and what you're building. We'd love to see it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.